fans cried over this heartbreaking news. For decades, Ben Shephard has been one of British television's most beloved figures. Known for his warm smile, his sharp wit, and his remarkable ability to connect with people from all walks of life, Ben has become a staple in homes across the UK. From Tipping Point to Good Morning Britain, his calm presence and quick humor have earned him a special place in viewers' hearts. But behind that comforting grin, those closest to him say there's been a quieter, more painful story unfolding, one that Ben himself has fought to keep private. Recently, whispers began circulating among his colleagues and longtime friends. Ben, they said, hadn't seemed quite himself. The sparkle in his eyes was dimmer, the easy laughter less frequent. And though he continued to show up for work, pushing through his usual schedule with professionalism and charm, something deeper was clearly weighing on him. To millions, Ben is the very definition of composure, a man who thrives under pressure, who makes others shine, and who rarely lets personal hardship interfere with his on-screen life. But in truth, away from the cameras, the 50-year-old presenter has been facing a private health battle that has quietly reshaped his world. Sources close to the Shephard family reveal that Ben's health concerns began subtly, with bouts of exhaustion and unexplained pain that he initially brushed off as the cost of an overworked schedule. Morning starts at ITV, long filming days, late nights prepping for Tipping Point. He told friends it was just part of the job. Yet those who know him best, especially his wife Annie Shephard, saw the early signs of something more serious. Ben and Annie's love story is one of quiet devotion. They met long before fame found him, back when he was a young, ambitious journalist just starting out, and she was the steady, grounded presence who kept him humble. For over 2 decades, Annie has been Ben's anchor. While his television career soared, she remained the quiet strength behind the scenes, raising their 2 sons, Jack and Sam, and creating a home filled with warmth and laughter. But now, that laughter has been tested. According to those close to the family, Annie has been deeply worried about Ben's declining health, especially in recent months. She's doing everything she can to stay strong, one friend confided, but you can see it in her eyes. She's scared. She's trying to hold the family together, but this has shaken them all. Fans, too, began noticing small changes. Ben appeared slightly thinner, his energy at times subdued during live segments. Though still as gracious and articulate as ever, there were moments, tiny pauses, fleeting expressions that hinted at something heavier beneath the surface. Speculation grew, but Ben remained silent. He refused to draw attention to himself, choosing instead to continue his work with quiet determination. Behind the scenes, Annie urged him to slow down, to rest, to get help, to finally put himself first. At first, Ben resisted. He's always been the kind of man who shoulders responsibility for everyone else, the guests on his shows, his colleagues, his family. But as his condition worsened, the facade became harder to maintain. According to insiders, there was one night that changed everything. After a particularly long filming day, Ben collapsed at home. It wasn't dramatic, a fainting spell perhaps, or a moment of weakness, but for Annie, it was terrifying. She called for medical help immediately, and that moment, friends say, marked the beginning of their new reality. Doctors ordered tests. Days turned into weeks of waiting, each one filled with uncertainty, fear, and whispered conversations late at night when the kids had gone to bed. Though Ben hasn't publicly confirmed the nature of his illness, close friends describe it as a serious but manageable condition, one that requires ongoing treatment, rest, and careful monitoring. During this time, Annie became Ben's guardian angel. She reorganized her life completely, attending appointments, researching treatment options, and making sure he ate properly, rested enough, and stayed positive. "She's his protector," one ITV colleague confided. "Everyone can see how much she loves him. It's written all over her face." For Annie, the struggle has not just been about Ben's health, but about holding on to the life they've built together. The laughter-filled dinners, the rugby weekends, the small joys of family life that mean everything. "She doesn't want to imagine a world without his smile," another friend said softly. Faced with the fragility of his own health, Ben began to change. Those around him say he's become more reflective, slower to rush, quicker to listen, and deeply grateful for the simple things. He started keeping a journal, something Annie encouraged him to do. In it, he writes not about fame or television, but about his sons, their laughter, their future, and the lessons he hopes to leave behind. He's also been recording small video messages, memories, advice, jokes, for them to look back on someday. Ben wants his boys to always remember the man he really is. Not the presenter, but the dad who never missed a rugby match, who made the best bacon sandwiches, who loved their mom more than anything. Throughout this ordeal, Annie's strength has astonished everyone around her. Friends describe her as quietly heroic, a woman who holds her emotions close but radiates calm even when she's breaking inside. "She doesn't crumble," one close family friend explained. "She turns her worry into action. She's the one calling doctors, arranging therapy, researching nutrition. She's relentless." But still, behind that brave front, Annie has faced her own private heartbreak. There are moments, friends say, when she slips away to the garden alone, sits with a cup of tea, and lets the tears fall. But she always comes back inside with a smile, because that's what love does. It bends, it aches, but it endures. In many ways, Ben and Annie's relationship has grown stronger through this storm. They've learned to slow down, to cherish quiet mornings together, to say "I love you" more often. Neighbors near their Richmond home have spotted them taking evening walks, hand in hand. No cameras, no crowds, just two people rediscovering what really matters. Ben's illness has changed their perspective completely. A close friend shared, "They're living for the moments now. Every day together is a gift." Despite medical advice to take an extended break, Ben eventually returned to work, albeit on a lighter schedule. His colleagues say he's more present, more mindful, and more open about life's fragility. During one tipping point episode, viewers noticed his unusual emotional reaction when a contestant shared a story about overcoming adversity. Ben's eyes glistened as he said quietly, "You never know what people are going through, do you? That's why kindness matters." Those words, simple as they were, resonated deeply. Many fans later wrote online saying they felt he was speaking from personal experience. As news of Ben's health journey began to quietly surface, the outpouring of support was overwhelming. Fellow presenters like Kat Deely, Susanna Reid, and Lorene Kelly reached out privately, offering help and encouragement. Viewers flooded social media with messages of love and gratitude. "Ben, you've brought light into our mornings for years. Now it's our turn to send light back to you." Even ITV reportedly adjusted his filming commitments to give him more time for recovery and family life, a gesture that touched him deeply. Friends say Ben has been profoundly changed by this experience. He's become an advocate for health awareness, often reminding younger colleagues not to ignore warning signs or push through pain. He's also found comfort in faith, mindfulness, and gratitude, a far cry from the relentless pace of his earlier years. Ben's realized that success isn't about fame, it's about peace. It's about being here in the moment with the people that matter. One close friend said, in a rare conversation with a close friend, Annie reportedly opened up about the toll this journey has taken. She said she's never felt so scared. And yet so grateful, because when you face something like this, you see life differently. You stop taking tomorrow for granted. For Annie, this period has reminded